Love true crime in the Pacific Northwest? Visit shadowsinthepines.com. You'll find direct links to all our social media, streaming platforms, and every place you can listen. Stay connected and step deeper into the stories. Enjoying the show? Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share Shadows in the Pines. Sharing helps us grow and continue bringing you powerful true crime stories from across the Pacific Northwest. Your support truly makes this possible. Before we begin, please note that this episode may contain strong language and discussions of violence, sexual assault, and crimes involving children. Listener discretion is advised. If you're not in the right frame of mind, we encourage you to pause and return when you're ready. Please take care of yourself.
So it's Friday night, February 18th, 1983. Seattle's Chinatown International District is still moving at that hour. The restaurants along Maynard Avenue are finishing their dinner rush. A few storefront gates rattle closed. Neon signs buzz quietly in the damp air. Traffic rolls through the intersection in steady waves, headlights cutting across brick facades that have been there longer than most of the people walking past them. The Louisa Hotel stands where it always has, its upper windows lit, its front entrance used to the rhythm of people coming and going. Nothing about the outside suggests anything unusual. It's the end of a work week. It's cold. It's ordinary. Inside the building, doors open and close. Footsteps move down hallways. Conversations overlap and fade. Somewhere, money is being counted. Somewhere else, someone is checking the time and thinking about heading home. It's a normal Friday night in a neighborhood that has seen decades of them. I'm Becca.
And this is Dan.
And you're listening to Shadows in the Pines. Beautiful, beautiful.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome in, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to our lovely little podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I am so excited about the sun.
I know, it's staying up longer and longer.
The sunshine.
Oh,
it makes me so
nice.
fucking happy.
Yeah.
Spring is right around the corner.
I know, I'm excited.
Holy shit, tomorrow's the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like 19 days away from spring officially.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking cool.
I know.
I'm ready for warmer days.
Oh, amen to that. Warmer
Not
days.
that it gets horrendously cold here.
No. I mean, it got pretty cold.
Yeah. If you had to take a shot in the dark, how many times do you think you saw me in pants?
From like October through February?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, like thrice.
Yeah.
Fuck pants.
You're a shorts kind of guy.
It's one of my favorite things about here is the weather.
Oh, yeah?
And the mild winter.
It was unusually mild this year.
It was, yeah.
Unusually.
We didn't even get a lot of snow.
No. Not at all. It was weird.
It was weird. But I'm not going to complain either.
No.
We'll probably have an especially rainy spring.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Someone ought to check that farmer's almanac that no one reads anymore.
There you go. I saw it in some gardens on my walk today that the daffodils and tulips are really pushing up.
Nice.
I know. Which kind of made me sad a little bit because I'm not quite ready for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love color, but I'm still not ready for that.
Oh, you know what we should do?
What's that?
Fuck. Well, number one, I forgot to look at who the top notifications in TikTok are.
Oops.
So that's my bad.
Sorry, guys.
We'll have to double down on that next week.
Yeah, we'll rectify it.
Fuck, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
What did I just say before the TikTok thing?
We were talking about spring happening. It's going to be rainy, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Tulips and daffodils were pushing through.
Well, I lost it.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe it'll come back.
Maybe. That's weird.
Oh.
It fell right out of my brain. It fell right out. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
It's okay.
And I don't want to have to pause this and go back.
Remember. No, it's okay.
It's embarrassing.
It's okay.
I was like, here's something, but before that, here's something else. And it's going to make me forget about my original thought.
I know. We can't even shout out our new listeners because I don't think we've taken a peek.
I know. Yeah. So I haven't done that.
And that's okay. It's all right. Well, maybe as we tell this story, it will pop back in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's going to bother me.
That's okay.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm not going to stall out the show and try to remember. We were talking about news. No?
Mm-mm. No. The Farmer's Almanac.
All right. Well, I guess I really got to let it go. I fuck. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh,
stay tuned, boys and girls. We'll find out.
It's so messed up. I can't. There's not even a shred. Not a shred, not a thread, nothing's on the tip of my tongue. It just fucking...
Just left.
It's just gone.
Just left.
All right, well, clearly it wasn't that important. Whatever the fuck I was going to say. So, yeah, the TikTok, I haven't checked. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a one-part episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We haven't had just a one-parter in a while.
I just remembered.
What were you going to say?
We were talking about spring
and
flowers and whatnot.
Yes.
And I was going to say we should take a moment of silence for all the plants that are going to die from being purchased and planted and transplanted too early.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, they are.
Oh, man.
Well... They're fools.
They're fools. So, yeah, we got a one episode case, but it's a good one. And it's about a massacre at the Wah Mee.
A massacre?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know what is the body count that would constitute something going from a tragedy to a massacre. More than 5?
I don't know. Or would it be that the majority of those who were present at the time were killed?
Oh, yeah. That's even better. We're going to go with that.
Okay.
I'll remember to ask Siri later.
Sounds good.
She'll lie to me about something.
Yes, it's going to snow today.
So, let's start the neighborhood, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Seattle's Chinatown International District, or CID, which is not to be confused with the Criminal Investigation Division.
Okay.
Which is what most people will hear CID and think of, especially true crime fans.
Yes.
So we're not talking about that.
Okay.
We're talking about Chinatown in Seattle.
Gotcha.
And we're in the early 1980s. And this place, it's not a weekend destination. Mm-mm. It's very much a lived-in, working-class type area.
Okay.
Built by families who had been, kind of carving out their space there for generations. And many of them thereafter surviving like exclusion laws and discrimination and economic barriers that shaped where they could and could not live and or do business. We were pretty awful to the Chinese.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
There's a whole, over in Tacoma, there's a whole like park dedicated. It's called the Chinese Reconciliation Park.
Oh.
It's pretty badass, but it's basically like, hey, we're sorry about how awful we were to you. Here's a fucking statue of a goose.
A goose.
Like, I don't know how they think that makes up for anything, but
yeah.
whatever.
But the park is beautiful.
Yeah,
Aw.
it really is. So, you know, you've got restaurants there that have been there for fucking decades. And produce markets, of course, herbal medicine shops, apartment buildings, you know, with elderly residents upstairs and businesses right below. English, not always the primary language on the street, of course, because it's Chinatown. So you got Cantonese and Toisanese, I think that's how you say that, carried through storefront doors. And of course, if you're a kid, you grew up helping behind the counter.
Oh, yeah, naturally.
That's just the way it was.
Any mom and pop shop would run that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of functioning like a little village inside a city. And in the early 80s, Seattle itself wasn't really booming.
No.
Boeing layoffs earlier in the decade had shaken, you know, thousands of families. And of course, inflation from the late 70s was squeezing small businesses. So cash flow kind of matters. And stability also matters. So if you owned something in Chinatown, you were working damn hard to keep it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So in the middle of that whole district is the Louisa Hotel. And the Louisa Hotel is not glamorous. It was built in 1909. It's got a brick exterior, narrow hallways, you know, street level storefronts, and residential hotel rooms above that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's the kind of building that it's been there forever.
Yeah.
So it's seen a lot of fucking people come and go.
Yeah. Built in 1909. Yeah.
Now, inside of that hotel, off Maynard Alley South, was the Wah Mee.
Okay.
The Wah Mee was a gambling club. A real one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like a literal gambling club that existed there in some fucking shape or form for fucking decades. And records trace gambling activity in that location back to the early 1920s.
Damn.
Yeah, so by 1983, it's just simply part of the district's rhythm. Kind of like how you were talking about the red light district in Wallace.
Yeah.
Like, it's just part of it.
Just accepted. Yeah.
Yeah. So, now when I say gambling club, this is not like a fucking casino. It's not roulette tables or wheels, you know, and slot machines and shit like that.
Right.
Because it's in Chinatown. It's mahjong tables set up close together. Card games running, you know, late into the night. And basically like high-stakes social gambling inside a private room.
Ooh.
Kind of like how you see in the movies.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Definitely not a place strangers wandered into by accident. So if you were there, you were part of the circle. You knew someone. You were a regular. And most of the patrons and employees were Chinese or Chinese American. They were business owners, workers, retirees, and people who lived nearby. And basically people who would see each other on the street every day.
Familiar faces.
Right?
Yeah.
And these games could run large. Like tens of thousands of dollars might be on the tables on a busy night.
Holy.
Yeah. And that's documented reporting from that time. So it's known to be a cash-heavy business.
Holy cow.
And little operation that they have going. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because of that, and because of the nature of the thing, obviously there's no cameras. No armed guards, no metal detectors or anything. It's just a contained room inside a historic building in a tight-knit immigrant neighborhood. Is the best way to describe it.
Right. There was just automatic trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
So by the time we reach Friday, February 18th, 1983, nothing about that night feels historic to the people that are inside. It feels routine. You got mahjong tiles clicking. Have you ever played mahjong? It's pretty fun.
I'll take your word
It's
for it.
interesting. There's like some strategy involved. And there's different versions you can play.
Okay. Is there a little kid version? Because that would be right up my alley. It would be. We got right up my alley.
There might be, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I think they call it Guess Who.
Hey, I'm pretty good at Guess Who. I'm pretty good at that game. Oh, my God.
So, my point is everybody's doing their thing. And it's a normal fucking Friday night. So, it's late, but it's not closing time because this place doesn't shut down early on weekends. That's not the culture. Especially because people would finish like their jobs for the day and their work, and that's when they would go there.
So it's more for like the workers in the community.
Right.
Gotcha.
So inside that room on that Friday night were 13 people. John Louis, he was 48, and he was the manager of the Wah Mee. So this isn't just a guy playing cards. This is someone who runs the place. He knows the regulars. He knows the rhythms of the room, He would have been paying attention to the tables. Because that's what his responsibility is.
Right. Making
Just
sure
keeping
that
an
things
eye on
are
the fucking
going
cash,
smoothly.
yeah. Now, Hung Fat G was there, 51 years old. He worked at the club, and this was part of his livelihood. So it was just another shift for him.
Oh, wow.
Gim Lun Wong, 54, was the doorman, which means if you came into the room, you likely passed by this guy first.
Right.
So
They're not that old.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And they're Chinese, so I'm sure they look like they're fucking 20.
Right. Yeah. I know. I'm one of those secret to great looking skin. Yeah.
Yeah. After Gim Lun Wong, we have Hennig Chin, who was there. He was a cook and a waiter. And George Marr, in his 50s, was also a chef. Wing Wong, 59, worked as a line cook and was a former Army. It was formerly enlisted in the Army.
Oh, wow.
And Lung Wing Chin, 60, was also one of the cooks.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a kitchen presence there. Staff and people working and people who didn't just come to gamble. They were there doing their jobs. Now, aside from them, you have the people that were there to
have fun.
Gambling,
Yeah.
right. And those people were Moo Min Mar. Oh, excuse me. Who owned a restaurant in the district, and his wife, Jean Mar, 47, was there with him. And they were part of the community, and people knew them.
Yeah.
Then we have Chin Lee Law, 51, who owned an auto repair shop. Dewey Mar, 68, who was a projectionist, like ran the projector at like a theater and shit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's badass. Jack Marr, who was 60. Chong L. Chin, 55, who was also a cook. And that's everybody that was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. It's like family, friends, people. I mean, it's kind of like that Sesame Street song. Who are the people in your
Right,
neighborhood?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we're looking at a manager overseeing his operation. We got a doorman, we have kitchen staff, we have a husband and wife seated at a table, business owners unwinding, a goddamn retired mailman.
Yeah.
And they're all just there, spending a Friday night in a familiar place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not some like anonymous grouping of people in a crowd in a basement. It's people who would have seen each other at work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And, people who would likely seen each other earlier in the week or earlier in that day even. They're just part of that neighborhood's ecosystem, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And so, right now they're just sitting at tables, playing mahjong, betting their money, and nobody's watching the entrance and nobody's expecting anything except another round.
Right.
And that normalcy and comfort is what makes kind of what's about to happen feel so jarring.
Oh.
So at some point in the night, the door opens and 3 men walk in. And it's not dramatic. It's just a door opening the way it would if someone showed up late. And for a second, it probably doesn't even register as anything different.
Mm-hmm.
But then they pull out guns. And, of course, everything shifts kind of immediately.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Now, nobody in there is thinking, mass execution.
No.
They're thinking robbery.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes sense in the moment. Guns come out, money gets demanded, you hand it over, and it's done.
Yeah.
So that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The cash gets pulled from the tables. Nobody's arguing, nobody's lunging, and it's kind of like they're complying to survive.
Yeah. I would at that point in time if I had people like, I don't know, you here, take the money, go.
Right.
Leave me be.
For a minute, it kind of looks like that's all it is. It's just a robbery. Mm-hmm. Like all they want is the money, and they're going to take it, and they're going to fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't leave.
Hmm?
Instead, they start moving people.
Why? One
by one, up from tables toward the back of the club.
Oh, no.
And, of course, at this point, they got to be thinking, what the fuck? Because robbery doesn't usually involve, relocation.
No.
And if it were just about the money, they'd already be halfway up the stairs.
Yeah.
So they're told to lie face down, and their hands are tied behind their backs, and they're positioned close together on the floor and ordered not to move.
Mm.
Now, if you're face down on the basement floor with your hands bound behind you, you can't really see what's happening behind you. You can only hear it.
Correct.
Like movement, voices, footsteps shifting position, other people breathing close by.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably still a part of your brain trying to make it survivable. Like maybe this is about witnesses. Maybe once they feel secure enough, they'll go. That's kind of the last explanation you kind of cling to.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't go. And the first gunshot, of course, changes everything. And in a confined space like that, the sound would have been over fucking whelming.
Yeah, you're in a basement. It's going to be echoing off those walls.
So then there's another shot and another.
Mm.
And people who had been sitting upright at tables just a few minutes earlier are now being executed face down on the floor of a room that they trusted.
That's horrible.
Yeah. There's no shouting, no fighting. It's just deliberate and efficient and carried out inside a space that felt completely normal less than 10 minutes earlier,
Yeah. Oh my God. It's horrible.
Yeah. So once it starts, obviously there's no hesitation. There's no moment where someone pulls back or second guesses what's happening. Everybody's already face down and everyone is already tied. Nobody's, running for the stairs or nothing.
Well, no, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. And the size of the basement kind of matters more than people realize because it's not some wide open casino floor.
No.
It's a gambling club under a hotel. And the tables are close together and the chairs are kind of tucked in tight and the walls are not far off. And it's got a really, really low ceiling. Mm-hmm. So sound doesn't really have anywhere to go. Mm-mm. So once 13 people are forced onto the floor in a space like that, there isn't distance between them.
No. You're like sardines.
Right. And you're close enough, to hear them and to feel the movement between them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, this all happens within minutes. And it's basically the amount of time it takes to walk across a small room and stop at each person that's laying there and just shoot them in the head. Mm. Which is exactly what happens.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And now, like I said, because of the way it's laid out, nobody outside of the room hears a fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, because you're downstairs. You're in the basement.
Nobody out on the street, not nothing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, I couldn't find any information on whether or not the dudes had masks on or tried to conceal their identities, but I'm going to guess probably not, being as how they felt the need to get rid of the witnesses.
That's so messed up.
Yeah, so 3 men come in, they pull guns, they get all the fucking money, they tie everybody up, and then they shoot them all in the back of the fucking head. Yeah. So in a matter of minutes, it turns a normal Friday night into that.
Into a bloodbath.
Right? So now eventually they fucking leave. Mm-hmm. And after they leave, it just kind of becomes quiet. And that's when we find out that not everybody is dead.
Oh.
Someone is still breathing. And Wygon Willie, or Louie, is on the floor with everybody else, and he's been shot. Mm-hmm. He has been shot in the face.
Dear God.
He's bound, he's injured, and, this motherfucker has survived this shit. Mm. So, I imagine he's like, in some kind of fucking shock, trying to process what the fuck just happened, Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you don't know if the motherfuckers are gone yet.
No.
So he's laying there trying to be as still as possible, as quiet as possible, hoping that they're fucking gone.
Right.
So while he's laying there, he kind of slowly starts working at his restraints. Mm. And it takes some time, but he's finally able to get those off and get himself upright.
Wow.
And this tough son of a bitch, I can't even imagine. Like, he's shot in the face.
Yeah.
He's shot in the face.
You're bleeding profusely.
So number one, you have to be disoriented on some level.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And in some manner of shock. Now, you have to try to figure out, how the fuck am I going to get out of this room?
Yeah.
And are they still here? And am I going to die? And above and beyond all that, you have to crawl over the bodies of the people where, like, fucking 15 minutes ago...
You were just laughing with each other.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. That's enough to put anybody into a tailspin.
Yeah.
My God.
So he reaches the street, Of course, he's not steady. He's just forced himself out of restraints after being shot in the face. His body is still reacting. And it's Friday night in Chinatown. So at this hour, everything is still fucking moving. Mm-hmm. The restaurants are just starting to close. Lights are on. People are walking. And he, of course, needs help immediately.
Yeah.
But he also kind of needs someone to understand the scale of what he's trying to say. Because a single shooting is shocking, and a robbery is understandable within the logic of urban crime, but a basement full of bound victims who have all been shot is not something anyone expects to hear.
No, not at all.
So he's injured, he's in shock, and he's trying to communicate something that sounds almost, unreal when he's saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. So the first people who encounter him have literally zero fucking context. Oh. All they see is a wounded man emerging from the Wah Mee out of the fucking hotel.
Yeah.
They see the blood, they hear the urgency, and it takes a moment for the message to kind of land.
Yeah.
But when it finally does, of course their reaction changes and police are called. And emergency response is requested.
Yes.
And officers that are responding to the scene are not walking into a robbery in progress. They're not entering a chaotic gunfight. They're walking into a basement that is already gone silent. Mm-hmm. So when they descend into the Wah Mee, what they encounter is really controlled devastation. Because the tables are upright, the chairs are where they were left. The money taken in the robbery is not scattered wildly from any kind of weird struggle. Mm-hmm. And the bindings are still on their wrists. And the victims are all positioned face down where they were forced.
That's so crazy.
Right? So that visual alone tells investigators immediately that there's, it's not crossfire. There's no panic. It was organized and deliberate. And everyone complied. And everyone was restrained. And the room showed, like I said, no sign of resistance that escalated into any kind of mutual violence. Mm-hmm. So sadly, none of them had the opportunity to fight back.
No.
And if they did, none of them chose to.
Right.
But at that, like you said, at that point, your brain's probably still like, okay, if I do what they say,
then I'll survive.
And I'll make it out of this okay. Because
what else are you going to do? You haven't,
up until you hear that gunshot, you're thinking it's a fucking robbery.
Yeah. Like, they're just going to take the money. They're going to leave. We'll figure this out once we hear the door close. Yeah.
So the scale of the shit that's going on kind of registers with the authorities quickly when they realize it's not just one or two victims, but 13.
Mm-hmm. The enormity.
Yeah. And this dude fucking survives somehow.
Yeah. Being shot in the face.
Right. So he's transported for medical treatment, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he has some serious fucking injuries, obviously, because being shot in the face is fucking serious.
Yeah.
But surviving being shot in the face is fucking extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, you were just shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
With a gun.
Yeah.
With a bullet from a gun. From a man holding a gun that shot a bullet from a gun that shot you in the face.
And at close range.
Fucking
How
creepy,
did it
right?
miss everything that could have ended your life?
Yeah,
but
man,
it did.
Someone was looking out for him that day.
Yeah.
Buddha.
Yeah.
Or whatever his god is.
Right?
Maybe it's, I don't know. I won't speculate.
No. No. Dear God.
So he's the only survivor. And detectives, of course, need him alive. Mm-hmm. And they need his memory intact. Because he's the only one that can speak to what the fuck
just happened.
Yeah. And they need details. You know, how many men came in, what were they wearing, how they spoke, whether they covered their faces, you know, where they positioned themselves, who handled the money. You know, he's got all that information, and they have none.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. So, you know, this fucking Wah Mee Gambling Club, it had operated for a long time, and it was known within the community. Like we said, it wasn't hidden. It wasn't an anonymous warehouse. It was just a basement club under a hotel. And, you know, but now, you know, it becomes the site of one of the worst massacres in Washington's history.
That's insane.
So they secure the scene pretty quick, and they begin documenting everything like they do. You know, the bindings and the shell casings and the positioning and the layout of the room and all that. And they kind of map the basement carefully because every inch matters when reconstructing how 3 men controlled 13 victims.
Right?
3 men.
Yeah.
Which is a detail that they get from Louis. So inside the hospital, he begins to recount what he can. You know, he describes the men entering, the demand for money and being forced to the floor and being relocated. And he describes the shots. And his testimony kind of immediately narrows the focus of investigators because it's not random street violence.
No.
It's a targeted robbery followed by systematic killing, which means someone fucking planned it. It means they came in there with the intent to do that. It didn't just pop off because there was an argument and shit got out of hand. Like, they knew what they were going there for.
Yeah. They're like, we're getting the money, and then we're going to kill them. I just can't imagine deciding that you just want to end people's lives. Like, I cannot wrap my head around that part of it.
So of course the public immediately is like, what the fuck? You know, why this many victims? How did 3 men, you know, believe they could walk into a basement and eliminate every witness? Because that's what it's meant to be. You know, no witnesses. Which is why his survival, of course, changes everything.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, because without him, it's a sealed room. It's a robbery and an execution with no surviving account of who walked down those stairs. No cameras, no nothing.
Yeah.
So if this guy wouldn't have survived, these 3 fellows would have gotten away with this. Now, he is stabilized.
Good.
You know, and they're working to keep him alive and prevent any further damage. And he is the only one that walked out of that fucking basement.
Yeah, the only one.
So they need everything they can get from him.
Yeah.
Because he's it. And he kind of has to tell him all this shit while recovering from a gunshot wound to the face.
So you're in shock.
Yeah.
You just went through huge trauma, and yet let's make you relive it as many times as
exactly
possible.
that. He has to go back through it detail by detail. Yeah, knowing that everyone else who was there with him is gone.
Yeah, how does that not break a person? Like, kudos to you, Louis, for not succumbing to your injuries and or the horrific crime that you witnessed.
Right? So he tells him everything he can. And he gives pretty accurate descriptions of their height and build.
Nice.
And he's able to they get a usable frame. And So their investigation kind of begins moving in two directions at the same time. And one direction is the obvious one. They need to identify who these men are.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is the more practical one. They need to figure out why the Wah Mee was targeted specifically and what the offenders believed they were taking, because it points to who had knowledge of the club's operations and cash flow.
Exactly.
So this is kind of where you start seeing some immediate pressure, because Chinatown isn't a faceless neighborhood to the people who live there. It's a community. Mm-hmm. They're all families.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now their community is swarming with cops and cameras, and they fucking want answers fast.
Yeah.
So, the cops, they have to do two things at once besides that. Also, they have to secure the scene properly and collect all the evidence in a way that is going to stand up for them in court later.
Mm-hmm.
So once they have his Louis' description of things, he like I said, he gave them a fucking shit ton of detail.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get that kind of detail, especially inside a tight community, names start surfacing faster than you might expect.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Wah Mee wasn't some anonymous Vegas casino where strangers wandered in off the street. It operates in a specific social ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People knew who worked there. People knew who played there regular.
Mm-hmm.
And people knew who talked too much about money.
Oh.
And people definitely knew who had been around enough to understand how much cash might be inside that place on a Friday night.
Yeah, like they witnessed it firsthand.
Right? So, of course, detectives start pulling at that thread.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at former employees and people who had access. They look at people who had debts or grudges. And they look at young men who had been circling gambling environments but didn't necessarily have steady income.
Mm.
And then they look at who suddenly stopped showing up after February 18th. And it doesn't take long before three names rise to the surface more than once. David Yip, Benjamin Ing, and Tony Ing. Yeah, so they're young, they're connected socially, and they're not strangers to gambling spaces. And most importantly, they are believed to have known enough about the Wah Mee to think there would be substantial cash inside. So, of course, that kind of knowledge doesn't come from driving past a building. No. It comes from having intimate proximity to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, of course, they don't arrest people just because their name's mentioned twice. They got to build their case. They verify the alibis and they check the movements and talk to known associates and the usual suspects. They're going to cross-reference timelines and shit, and they compare Louis' description against real people.
Nice.
Great. And one of the three does not really remain easily reachable.
Oh.
So Tony Ing leaves the United States and goes to Canada not long after this happens.
Oh. He skipped town.
Right. And it's not proof of guilt by itself, but it does raise urgency. Because when you're investigating 13 executions and one of your primary persons of interest crosses an international border, that kind of changes the scope immediately. Now you're not just building a homicide case. You're dealing with extradition and international cooperation from a different country.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But David Yip and Benjamin Ing are still within reach.
Nice. Bring them in. Let's question them.
So they began tightening interviews around them. They want to see how consistent their stories are. Mm-hmm. They want to see if they place themselves together that night. They want to know whether anyone can confirm their whereabouts and all that. And really the community pressure during this time doesn't ease up at all. because it's fucking Chinatown and they're watching and families are grieving and the whole CID area is saturated with fucking media. And
Not the kind you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Seattle Police Department can't move casually, but they also can't really afford to hesitate on it. And 13 victims is not something you quietly investigate for months without visible progress at all. Like, people are going to get fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, it becomes clear that it wasn't an impulsive robbery and that it was planned. And, you know, they kind of put surveillance on these fellas and, you know, they get a little bit of probable cause, and eventually it's enough. And David Yip and Benjamin Ng are arrested. And Tony Ng, of course, is still in Canada, and bringing him back is not going to be simple.
It never is.
Right?
Extradition. It's messy.
Yeah. So when detectives move in on David and Benjamin, you know, it's very deliberate. Because at this point, they're building a case that has to survive trial. 13 counts of murder. Everything's got to fucking hold.
Yeah, no mess ups.
Yeah, so, you know, they execute their warrants, they search residences, they examine vehicles, and at least arresting 2 of the 3 suspected participants kind of changes the temperature of the investigation a little bit, because the community gets to finally see some movement.
Yeah.
And families get to hear that suspects are in custody. So, you know, but they're still moving pretty carefully. So they begin their interrogations. And they, you know, of course they don't walk into the room accusing someone of 13 executions and expect a confession in the first 5 minutes.
No.
They kind of start, you know, with their timelines. And they're like, well, you know, tell us where you were that night, who was with you, you know. And David and Benjamin do not present identical stories at all. And investigators compare their statements against Louis' account and against what the physical scene already established. And, of course, small details begin to carry weight, you know, who claims to have entered first, who says they stayed near the door, who says they handled the money, you know what I mean? Who kind of minimizes their role in it, because one of them always does. One of them's going to fucking look for the deal and try to fucking roll on his buddy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like almost always. He's going to try, you know, he's going to attempt to place the most violent actions on the other guy. So they're kind of trying to listen for that separation. And it kind of, it'll reveal who's leading and kind of who was following. And ballistics evidence tightens the frame even further. And firearms recovered during the searches are examined and compared to shell casings from the Wah Mee, and the trajectory reconstruction from the basement helps kind of establish the positioning, which can be compared against each suspect's version of events. So if someone claims they were near the stairs the entire time, but the physical evidence suggests shots were fired from multiple points inside a room, that inconsistency matters.
Yeah, because then you don't just have one person with a gun shooting.
Yeah.
You've got a couple people. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, meanwhile, Tony's still up in Canada. And his departure kind of complicates the case because extradition is not immediate. It requires formal requests, documentation, hearings, and time. And Canadian authorities have to evaluate the request.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just because the U.S. wants him back doesn't mean Canada's willing to let him go. So, you know, Louis' testimony kind of becomes central because he's the only living account of how the room moved from robbery to execution.
Yeah.
And his ability to identify the men and describe their roles and recount the sequence carries enormous weight. Now, the defense attorneys tried to challenge his memory, and said that it was altered perception under trauma, and they talk about lighting conditions and stress, but of course it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
So as the case kind of progresses and shit into court, the scale kind of becomes impossible to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
It's 13 victims, and that means 13 counts of aggravated murder.
Yep.
And that really alone shifts, kind of the gravity of the proceedings. It's not a single incident homicide trial where the courtroom is focused on one life taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stacked indictment representing an entire room of people who did not walk out of a basement.
Yeah.
So David and Benjamin face charges in Washington, and Tony's extradition remains entangled in the legal proceedings in Canada. And prosecutors construct a case around the planning, control, and execution, and they lean heavily on the structure of the crime itself, like entry with firearms, forced compliance, relocation within a confined space, restraint of victims, and finally close-range shooting.
Mm-hmm.
They argue that the killings were not impulsive, not chaotic, and not accidental, and argued that once the robbery was complete, the defendants made a deliberate decision to eliminate witnesses.
Mm-hmm. It is very deliberate.
Right. So, of course, the defense tries to do their thing, but then Louis takes the stand.
Ooh.
Yeah. And of course, testifying in a case like this is not simply recounting facts. It's reliving the room under cross-examination. He describes the men entering, them taking the money and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And physical evidence supports his narrative. And ballistics testimony explains the proximity of shots, and really it's basically just a fucking slam dunk for the prosecution.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing
that would suggest otherwise, yeah.
The defense can do to fucking do anything.
No.
So, David and Benjamin are convicted of multiple counts of aggravated murder.
Mm-hmm.
And they both get several life sentences in prison.
Good.
And Tony's extradition process stretches out over fucking years. Yeah. And when he's finally returned to the face trial in the United States, he gets convicted as well.
Good. As he should.
Right. So, yeah. It's fucking crazy, this one.
Mm-hmm. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that they were like, hey guys, let's go rob this place. We need the money. And then let's make sure there aren't any witnesses.
Right.
Yeah. To me, that's insane.
It is. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, closing thoughts?
My own closing thoughts?
Yeah, what are they?
Sorry, guys. I'm still sitting here over in my chair going, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you disrupt a community like that? Why?
Yeah. So it ends up becoming one of the most significant homicide investigations in the city's history.
Mm-hmm.
And it reshaped how mass casualty scenes are processed and how multi-defendant murder cases are built.
I don't doubt it.
Right? It's crazy that the fucking dude survives being shot in the fucking face, though. Like,
yeah.
Fucking Louis a tough son of a bitch, I'll tell you what. So yeah, a little bit of a shorter kind of meat and potatoes episode this week.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I really wanted to do for several reasons. coming off that
Willie's?
4-part farm. Yeah.
That was intense.
It was a lot.
And
it was 4 parts, so it's nice to do a case that's kind of shorter.
Yeah.
It's crazy. 13 people die in Chinatown.
Yeah.
3 people were responsible. They all end up getting several life sentences because of the fucking murders. So we got a nice little resolution from it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a survivor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like it was kind of a good story to tell.
It is a good story. I'm sorry that the 12 never made it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, next time on Shadows in the Pines, we're gonna start something a little bit different.
Oh.
There's gonna be a little bit of an arc.
Okay.
A little bit of and it might be multi-part episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you know what I mean? Like episode whatever we're on, like 25, part 1, part 2, part 3.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to start with the history of the I-5 corridor.
Oh.
What it is.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking weirdos who use it.
Oh.
And we're going to basically the I-5 highway or interstate is going to be the star of that episode.
Oh.
We'll briefly mention some folks,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly we're going to be talking about why it's used the way it is for the heinous activities that happen on it.
Now, that's a long stretch of road.
Right. And it goes from Canada all the way to Mexico, I think.
I think you are correct.
I'm pretty sure.
That's
Maybe not, though.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, we'll have to look that
It's
up.
up and down the coast. That's what I know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that episode, I have 3 specific cases that are tied to the I-5 corridor that we'll be going over.
Mm.
And one of them will be the Green River Killer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that one growing up.
So we'll be getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
We also got a former football player turned killer turned fucking dick shaking weirdo. He's a fucking weirdo and he did awful things, but I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to fucking ripping on him about the fucking flashing women thing when we get to that part. So,
women.
yeah.
Good Lord.
I don't know what the fuck it is with that. Like,
What?
it's fucking crazy. And then there's one more.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a 4-episode arc that may take several weeks to complete.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to be fun.
Right. And then we'll still be doing Mini Pines and Patreon exclusives in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that arc completes, I am hoping we'll be able to do a case I've been wanting to do since we started this, which will be Michaela Young.
Yeah.
But we are in the process of waiting for some personal details from her family so we can tell the story properly.
Yeah, exactly.
If they allow us to tell it. Because
That's
if they say, we'd rather you not tell our daughter's story on your podcast, then we're going to respect that and not talk about the case.
Exactly.
So yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. And then next week, I swear I will mention TikTok shoutouts.
Yes.
And
yes, we'll write that on the whiteboard that we don't have.
Right. Holy shit. And also the next time they listen to an episode, it'll be an hour later because of the time change.
Oh my gosh.
Which is also something to look forward to.
Because we have to, because we're going to, I hate the time change. Spring ahead.
I know, they should just fucking leave it one way or another.
I know.
Whatever. You got anything else you want to mention?
Nope.
And that's another night in the Pines.
Remember, keep your eyes open.
And your footsteps light.
Because in the Pines,
the truth never stays buried.
Thank you for listening to Shadows in the Pines. We know your time matters. Choosing to spend it with us is something we don't take lightly. Your support makes this work possible. If this episode stayed with you, share it with someone who values thoughtful storytelling. Independent podcasts grow because listeners choose to pass them on. Thank you for helping us grow.